In this tutorial, we will talk about line charts and area charts. So let's talk about the line chart. So line charts are great for showing trends over time, having many time periods. And it works better with continuous data. So you put time on the x-axis, and then we have a quantitative variable, the measurement, that goes on the y-axis. You can have one quantitative variable, two, three, any number. If I have four quantitative variables, I will have four lines. We can draw either a simple line chart, that is just as many lines as there are variables, or a stacked line chart. This time the lines are stacked, and or a 100% stacked line chart. Let's look at an example. So we have this data with just one quantitative variable and the year variable. Now, why is a line chart more suitable? Because I've got many rows of data. So 1929 through 2018. Of course, I have a break here because I've hidden some rows because not all the rows would fit here on this slide. Now, because there are so many entities, if I were to draw a column chart, there'll be just too many columns. And I don't even see all the columns here because, see, 1930, 31 is missing. So there's too many columns. And it's not adding much value. All we're interested in is the shape of the top of these rectangles. So not a good idea because there's too many columns. So we have a line chart which looks just like this, except we don't see the columns, we just see the shape of the top of the rectangles. So this is a good idea. Easy to see the trend. Now we can have two quantitative variables. This time we have nominal GDP and real GDP. So we have two lines. And we have a legend to show which one is which. We can do a stacked line chart for the same data. This is a stacked line chart. So notice that the values here are going up to 45 trillion, whereas these values are like 20 and 18. That's because this is stacked up, which means the values are added. So for example, so the nominal GDP goes from 0 to 20.58, and then the 18.64 is from here to here is 18.64. So together, 20.58 and 18.64 is like 39 point something. So it's close to 40. And then we can have 100% stacked line chart with two lines. So this is 100%. So in a 100% line chart, you can see the proportion of the two variables here. So for example, if you look at 2018, the last value, now you don't see 2018 here because the years are going in jumps of 3, but this is the 2018 value. So this is 20.58, and this much is 18.64, which is a little bit less than 50% of the total. So 20.58 plus 18.64 is 39 point something. So this one is a little bit over 50%, and this is less than 50%. So you can see this is a little bit over 50%, so this is less than 50%. And in a 100% line chart, we see percentages here, not the absolute values. Area chart. Area charts are just like line charts, except that the area between the x-axis and the line is shaded or filled. So area charts are substitutes for line charts. They just look fuller due to the shading or the filling of the area. So suppose I have this data, and if I were to draw a line chart for just the nominal GDP column, it looks like this. The area chart looks like this. Line chart, area chart. The only difference, you fill the area between the line and the x-axis. You can draw a stacked area chart just like a stacked line chart. You're just shading the areas under the lines. Of course, in a stacked chart, notice that the y-axis, the values are larger because of the stacking. Similarly, you can have 100% stacked area chart, just like 100% stacked line chart. So let's go to Excel and see how to draw these charts. Here's our data. So if you wanted to draw a line chart for just the nominal GDP, We can select the data for nominal GDP, insert as a line chart there. Notice that we were able to select all this data because these years are entered as text. See, there's an apostrophe sign here. If I had entered it without the apostrophe, it would be a numerical variable, in which case Excel would think that I have two numerical variables and it would not give me the labels on the x-axis for years. So that's just something to keep in mind. If we want to draw both of these as two different lines, we can do that. Insert, insert. Here. If we have both of them selected, we can do a stacked chart or a 100% stacked line chart. Stacked line chart. And then 100% stacked line chart. Insert 100% stacked line chart. Similarly, area charts. If we just do nominal GDP, just nominal GDP, insert area chart. If we select both of them, we can do a stacked area chart. And we can also do a stacked 100% area chart. There. So that's how we do line charts and area charts. So that's the end of this tutorial.